Well, you think you have a high-pressure job? Imagine having hundreds of coaches, thousands of students, and millions of fans hanging on your every decision. Joining us is one of the 10 members of the Tournament Selection Committee and the WCC Commissioner, Jamie Zaninovich. Jamie, talking to your peers and colleagues around the country, how difficult will it be determining the field of 68 this year compared to previous years?
Well, this is my second year as part of the process, but I think I can anticipate, at least versus that last year and the other years I've studied, this will be a challenging yet exciting year. There's certainly a lot of schools in play. I think the world is a little flatter than it's been before in terms of men's college basketball, and just means there's a lot of good teams out there. So we've done a lot of work already, and when we go to Indianapolis next week and try to finish this thing off, our work will be even more complicated, perhaps.
Now, based on your personal criteria, what factors do you weigh most? RPI, strength of schedule, quality wins late in the season?
It's a good question, because I think it is important to note that we are 10 individual members and we have access to a lot of information, and we do weigh things differently. For me, I think it's a couple of things. One, perhaps the most important, is the ability to win on the road in your conference. Regardless of conference, winning on the road in any conference is really difficult. The data show that about 70% of the time the home team wins, and that's probably even higher in a conference schedule. So true road wins on the road in conference play for me is really important, and I think that's probably one thing I look at most closely. But certainly the other metrics all play into it. I rely not only on RPI, which is obviously the metric that's talked about most closely, but Sagarin, Ken Palm, the other data measurements, and then you got to see these teams play too to see if what you see in the data conforms to what you see with your own eyes, and I think that's as important an evaluation.
Jamie, you come from the perspective of the WCC. Do you tend to put more weight on teams not from the so-called Power Six conferences that may have a very strong year but don't win their league tournament?
I don't think so. I think independent of conference is a really important principle for the committee, and one that is a good one. The words conference or conference RPI are almost virtually never uttered in the room, and they shouldn't be. It really is about teams and who that team has beaten, who they've played, and where they've played them. So conference affiliation really doesn't play into it at all.
Jamie, so much talk about outside things influencing the selection committee, like TV ratings, availability of a player. So when you look at a team like Kentucky on the bubble but bring a lot of fans and a lot of TV ratings, any suggestion that might help a team like the Wildcats get in?
No, that will not be factored in at all, and not even discussed. Certainly the availability of a player of the stature of Nerlens Noel will, because player availability is a huge piece of our discussion. But TV ratings and fan travel, that's not discussed. That might be a on the margin discussion in terms of the bracketing process, which happens at the very end of our process after selection and seeding is already determined. But again, that's only a marginal discussion, and certainly won't affect at all selection or seeding.
Jamie Zaninovich, we really appreciate you taking a few minutes with us today. Thanks so much, and have a great week in Indianapolis.
Thanks, guys. Good talking with you.
How would you like to watch the Final Four on a brand new 60-inch LED Samsung TV? Well, now's your chance. Starting March the 17th, Campus Insiders will be hosting a watch and win sweepstakes on our Facebook page. Just click on the sweepstakes icon, watch the Insiders video, and guess what school they're from. It's just that easy.